Wahlberg and Peterberg come together in the new film Deepwater Horizon. They've previously worked together in Lone Survivor and are working on another film, Patriots Day. So what did I think of it? Let's find out. Deepwater Horizon oil spill is one of the world's worst ocean disasters and one of the costliest of all time. The disaster costs the lives of 11 workers, so 6 years after the disaster seems like a fitting time to make a film based on the situation. Mark Wahlberg stars as Mike Williams, a chief electrical technician on board the Deepwater Horizon oil rig. And in support, we have Kurt Russell, who's just having a phenomenal year, playing Jimmy Harrell, who is pretty much the manager overseeing the operation. This film wouldn't be complete without a villain, and the villain here is the BP executive, played by John Malkovich. A man that you'd love to hate. I won't delve too much into the science and background of it all. You can look all that up on Wikipedia, on Google, but let's get to the review now. The film starts off a little bit slow-paced, and it begins with some recordings of inquests into the disaster, and you sort of get an understanding as to what had already happened before you see it happen. So, similar to Sully, it sort of started with a climax at the beginning. But the film does also give you a very good understanding as to how an oil rig works and the science of it all, and tries to dumb it down. You would have seen in that opening scene in the trailer the Coke can experiment that the daughter did, and that really gives you a really good understanding as to how an oil rig works for the layman, for the average person. But unfortunately, the film is filled with a lot of jargon, a lot of technical terminology that you wouldn't really understand unless you really worked on an oil rig. I know they're trying to get it as authentic as possible, but there are ideas there that the average cinema moviegoer wouldn't really get their head around as such. Nevertheless, for the most part, it was very easy to follow. Wahlberg in the title role of Mike Williams is phenomenal, as he always is in these type of films. These dramatic roles is where he really shines. None of this daddy's home humour. I prefer to see him doing serious roles because that's where he really does bring it. And he brought the emotion to the role, and when it came to the difficult, thrilling action sequences, he pretty much put himself out there on the camera, pretty much made the role his own. And at the same time, Kurt Russell's having a really phenomenal year this year, especially with Hell or High Water. I'm excited to see that when it comes out. He does not disappoint in this film, and they have a great chemistry together. He plays the manager on the oil rig, and as always, there's a villain in the film, and it's the BP executives who are shown to be the bad guys, because they are the ones who are trying to cut corners, cut costs. As you know, in industry, it's all about saving money. It's all about trying to make the dollar go further, but at what cost? In this film, we see the cost, the human cost, the tragedy that occurs. And you really begin to hate this character that John Malkovich plays as the BP executive. And you just leave the theatre thinking, how the hell could he just do that? And how could he get away with this? Because you see these situations are kind of unfolding all the time where charges against these executives get dropped in the end by some miraculous way that the courts happen to work their magic. Also, in terms of the CGI in the film, it did not look so CGI heavy. It relies on a lot of it for those really deep, heavy action sequences, but it doesn't feel like it is a computer-generated movie. They felt so authentic and so realistic, and you feel the heat building up and the tension building up, and you feel the flames in your face. That's how it feels going into the cinema watching this film. That's how realistic it is. For a movie that's less than 110 minutes, I really enjoyed this thrill ride. They told it in a heartfelt way, they paid homage to the victims, and it was spectacular to see it on a big screen. These type of disaster movies deserve that kind of treatment. With that in mind, I'm definitely going to say I recommend this film, and I give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it was just amazing the way they did it. I'm Christian, and this has been my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think of the film yourself, and if you like what you see and you want to see more, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.